in continuation with the mass method for analyzing the circuits. However, specifically the current sources are considered in this particular discussion. Previously, we have understood the difference between the mass and the loop. We have also gone through the mass analysis with the voltage sources. A point to remind with that the mass analysis is based on the KVL, so that works primarily with the voltage sources. However, it is extended with the current sources as well. So in this particular discussion, we are going to analyze the circuits using the mass analysis, where say it is consisting of current sources as well. We will also be making a comparison between the mass analysis and the nodal analysis. So current source in the outer branch. So this particular is a circuit where say the current source is in the outer branch. So in this, the mass current is associated directly with the current source. Second case is the mass, you can say presence of current source in branch between two masses. So this particular is a branch which is common between the mass, let's say I2 and I3. So you can say that there is a presence of current source in a branch which is common between the two masses or which is mutual to the two masses likewise. So these two cases we will be analyzing, and this particular analysis is coming out to be independent to whether these particular current sources are of dependent nature or independent nature. So this particular is a circuit and it is having say the three masses likewise. If suppose say fundamentally we are going to develop the KVL equations for all three masses, it will look like the situation that we have to assign a voltage polarity across this particular current source, and then we have to write the equations. So the equations are coming out to be on the same formats. So we will be writing the equation for mass 1, mass 2 and then the mass 3. Now the fourth equation, which is the I2, which is exactly equal to this particular current source, so that particular. Now in this particular, this Vx, which is an intermediate variable, is rising. So ultimately we will be dealing with the four equations to calculate the four unknown I1, I2, I3 and Vx. However, the I2 value is known deterministically, so we will be solving for I1, I3 and Vx. However, this particular can be simplified if suppose we are making use of that this particular current is already known and there is no need to write the mass equation for the second mass. So we will be dealing with the reduced number of variable. However, the equation for the mass 1, mass 3 in this has to be written the way it has been written earlier. So like say the known current is written primarily, mass 1 equation is written. So this is a voltage rise minus 3 plus 2 I1 minus I3 plus 4 I1 minus I2. I2 is substituted 4, so the resulting equation is this much. On the similar line, we will be writing the equation for mass 3, 2 into I3 minus I1 plus 4 into I3 plus 8 I3 minus I2. So I2 is substituted for likewise. So in this way we will be dealing with only two unknown I1 and I3, and the results can be simplified. Calculations can be simplified. Now the current source is mutual between the two masses. So previously what we did, when say the mass current is associated directly with a current source value, we have eliminated that mass equation. We will be making use of the supermass analysis. What the supermass is suggesting, that you are combining the two masses in which the current source is present on a mutual branch or a common branch. So this particular is likewise you have oriented. While say you are forming a supermass path, the orientation is not changed, that particular is remaining clockwise. Point to be remembered that the supermass is not assigned any new variable or the orientation. So we have to write the equation for the two. One is pertaining to this mass, the way we have written previously. Another is for this particular supermass by considering only the boundary elements, and another equation which will be forming a constraint, or like say the KCL equation, that particular in this case is I2 minus I3 is equal to 4 ampere. So that constraint is basically the KCL relation. So these particular are say the mass one equation as it is, as we have done previously. Constraint equation I2 minus I3 is equal to 4, and the supermass equation, let's say I am starting with this 4 of I2 minus I1 plus 2 I3 minus I1 plus 4 I3, then it is coming out to be plus 4 volt. So this particular is experiencing a voltage drop, and we will be solving only for the limited number of variables I1, I2 and I3, and that particular can easily be solved likewise. Another example here. So in this particular, this 5 ampere source is present between the first and the third mass. This particular is also a current source that is present between the first and second. So we can easily form a supermass combining first, third and the second. The orientation has to be kept clockwise likewise. So this particular is going to be the structure. So we will be writing the equation for this particular fourth mass, equation for this particular supermass, two equations. Third one, it is a constraint or KCL relationship between I1 and I3. Fourth one is a KCL relationship between I1 and I2. And lastly, we will be associating this controlling current I0, because this is a dependent source, with the help of this particular mass current. So I0 is coming out to be minus I4 in this case. So these equations are written likewise. Constraint equation I1 minus I3 is equal to 5. Another one is I1 minus I2 is equal to 3I0. I0 is equal to minus I4. Supermass equation, you have started likewise 6 of I1 plus 2 of I3 plus 4 of I2 plus 4 I2 minus I4, that is equal to 0. And lastly, this particular the mass equation is written 4 of I4 minus I2 plus 2 I4 plus 10 is equal to 0. We will be solving, and finally the results are obtained like this. So we have covered the nodal analysis, mass analysis, all possible cases have been covered. Now we will be making a comparison between the mass versus nodal analysis. So the choice depends on the smaller number of equations. So that particular is one consideration. So if suppose say circuit is having the fewer nodes, the nodal analysis is preferred, and if the masses are less, then the mass analysis is preferred. If suppose say the structure of the problem is such that there are number of parallel connected elements, current sources, or it is coming out to be super node, then the nodal analysis is preferred. However, if suppose say there are number of series connected elements, voltage sources or supermasses, then the mass analysis is preferred. If suppose say the consideration is to find out the nodal voltage, then directly solve for the nodal analysis. If the branch currents are important, then go for the mass analysis likewise. So these are, you can say, the general. However, there are some significant points which are to be understood, that the nodal analysis can be applied for the non-planar networks. So if suppose say there is a jumbling of wires which we cannot draw schematically on plane of paper without crossing the lines, so that particular is forming a non-planar network, and the nodal analysis can be applied there. Nodal analysis can be implemented easily on the computer. So you can say it is more amenable to computer realization. This particular is the only method when say the operational amplifier is considered. We cannot solve those particular by the mass analysis likewise. However, the mass analysis is only method available when analyzing a circuit consisting of transistors likewise. However, we will not be considering the transistor or the operational amplifier throughout the course. Now as a summary which is salient to the mass analysis, mass is a loop that does not include other loops within it. It is an application of the KVL. All masses shall be oriented clockwise. So this is a, because we developed the notations and the theory around it. So otherwise the method is general, but this particular is giving a simplicity where the chances of mistakes will be minimal. You can easily calculate the element current. You can you can formulate the equation simply by inspection if suppose say it is only having independent sources. For the supermass, we will not be assigning any new current or the orientation. So that particular is important. Now the supermass is resulting into a constraint equation, and that particular is a KCL relationship. So carefully we have to sum up these particular, and for further reading you can refer these particular textbooks. Thanks.